Hey everyone, welcome to Mario Spooky Time. Today we are at the Big Texas Terror Convention here in San Antonio, Texas. This is their first event, so let's check it out. So we are inside, and I purchased my weekend tickets a while back, and we get this cool weekend pass, and it comes with a lanyard as well. And they had this cool carpet with the backdrop. So I did not record every booth because there was a lot, but I did record the ones that I thought were really cool and the ones that caught my eye. So you'll see those in this video. This first one is one of my favorites that I always see at like the Wonderland markets, horror markets. They have these cool 3D signs that light up. And I've purchased one of their Legos before. I got a Darth Vader one for my brother. Those are pretty unique. I did include the barcodes for their Instagram page, and I did that for every vendor that I'm going to show in the video. And if one doesn't have one, it's just because they didn't have any social media that I could find. I really like these 3D printed figures. I really like that Terrifier one that's coming up here. Very cool. So I include the Instagram barcode down below just because I think it's really important to support small business, local business. So if you can, make sure to give all these places that you see in the video or the ones that you like a follow on Instagram. They have a lot of cool stuff. These keychains, I know the boo-boos are really popular, and a little bit in the video you'll see that they had some. I did grab one and I got the green one, so I gave in. I've been seeing the Labubu's everywhere and I had to just see what the hype was about, and I got one, and I can tell you that I do understand the hype. They are very cute. Here are the Labubu's. As you can see, they only have a few left, and I was actually surprised that they even had any at all when I got there, because I got there around 2 o'clock, 2:30. So I did grab one. This booth had a lot of cool shirts, very unique designs on them, but it does say that it's licensed, so I thought that was also very cool. This was also one of my favorite booths. They had a lot of cool collectible items. They actually have a store here in San Antonio, Texas at Rolling Oaks Mall. I haven't been to the store yet. I keep meaning to go, but I just have not had the time. But I do want to go and check out the actual in-store. But yeah, they had a lot of awesome, cool collectibles. Definitely check them out using the Instagram barcode below. Now they had so much cool stuff, and I really wasn't trying to spend any money today, but I was very tempted with this booth. They have a lot of Texas Chainsaw Massacre collectible items here. A lot of different masks. But look at that Megan doll. That's the new NECA life-size Megan doll. They even had a few of the Texas Frightmare limited edition figures for the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. That was very cool. I love the packaging. I'm so big on packaging, and that Texas shape looks so cool on that box. I really wanted to get it. They have a lot of Terrifier stuff here. I really wanted the Mezco doll, but like I said, I wasn't trying to spend too much money today, so I decided to not get that just yet, but I'll probably be in the store in person trying to purchase it pretty soon. This store is like known for its masks, so of course they have this huge mask wall. Very realistic, very detailed masks. Even a huge hog here, which is crazy, and that bullhead. Lots of cool items, definitely check them out. This booth wasn't specifically horror, but they had a lot of vintage collectibles that really caught my eye, and a lot of Godzilla items. I'm a huge fan of Godzilla, so definitely caught my eye. I really like that Stan Lee figure sitting down. But yeah, they had a lot of vintage cool stuff. The Godzilla figures I was mentioning, and even the Batman figures. I'm a huge Batman fan as well. This booth, I could not find a social media platform that it was on, so if you're interested in checking them out, take a screenshot of the sign that was up there and give them a call. Or you can also check them out on Google. They do come up on Google, but I couldn't find like a Instagram or TikTok or anything like that on them. This booth was so awesome. I loved it so much, just looking at all the items. They had a lot of cool stickers, but as you'll see coming up, they had a lot of really cool signs that glow in black light. One of my favorites was definitely the Chucky sign right there, Child's Play 2. And they also have a Freddy Krueger sign that was really awesome. All of their signs are cool. They have the art one. I believe they had like all the slashers.
Get to see you.
I will definitely be getting a sign from them for sure. They just stand out so much. If you have a dedicated horror room, these would stand out and be perfect for that room. Even the Ghostface one is really cool. I like the Mickey Mouse one, even though it's not horror, but I am also a big Disney fan, so I like it. There's that Freddy Krueger one that I was talking about. Really awesome. Lots of cool stuff here. And this booth is another booth that has a store here in San Antonio, Texas, that you can go in all year round. They had a lot of cool stuff here. There are some specific items that I saw that I really, really wanted to buy. But like I said, I'm trying not to spend too much money here, so I passed on them, and they're coming up. So I really, really wanted the Ultimate Good Guy Chucky doll and the Glenn doll. Those are ones that I need for my collection, and I am on the lookout. I already know where I'm gonna get the Glenn doll, but yeah, those are part of my collectible wish list, and it was very tempting to not get them, seeing them in person. But this is another booth that's really cool, And they do have their in-store all year round here in San Antonio, so definitely use the barcode and check them out. Here is another booth that had a lot of really cool shirts, lots of cool designs, and they also had lots of cool collectible items. What specifically caught my eye about this booth is the Godzilla figures that they had. I know some people don't consider Godzilla horror, but I'm sure that there are people who consider Godzilla horror. A big giant monster running around, stomping on people. I don't personally consider it horror because I'm not scared of it. I just don't consider it horror, but I am a big fan of Godzilla. So they had a lot of cool figures that I really was tempted to buy, but I did not get any. So after this booth, you'll see in this video that I did meet some celebrities, and I really wasn't planning on meeting anybody, to be honest, because like I said, I'm trying not to spend too much money at the moment. And I also didn't want to wait in a long line, but there was actually no wait at all, but I just couldn't resist. So I did meet Andy Barkley, Alex Vincent, and I did also meet Kyle, Christine, and it was very cool. They were both super nice. I got an autograph and a picture. All of them at the barcodes below. The interaction was very nice, very genuine, and I am so glad that I did decide to actually go ahead and meet them and get their autograph and a photo. I don't regret that at all. So here we are at the panel that Alex and Christine are gonna speak at. So I will not talk any longer. You can listen to what they have to say and the fan Q&A as well.
Alex Vincent. Who's Alex? Welcome, Alex.
Hello.
How y'all doing?
We are well.
Very well.
I saw y'all's booths around the tables down there. Wow. That's a lot of fans here for you guys. You, man. Yeah, exactly.
Chucky's a big movie star.
I guess so, yeah. Well, first of all, welcome to San Antonio. Is it your first time here? No?
My third time, I think.
Third
Yeah,
time?
I've been here many times.
Many times for the cons, I guess, the circuit, yeah. Did you sample the food yet? Did you
Oh
get
yeah,
Yeah?
it's one of the best things about this.
What do you like it? What's your favorite plate here?
Oh, I don't know. I just walked down the river.
We were walking.
Yeah.
Grab some food there. What about you? Anything?
I don't eat meat, so I'm always in a situation in Texas, but
Yeah.
I can still find my way around.
Yeah. Texas and meat, yeah. That's kind of what I'm with there. But again, welcome. When you see a bunch of fans here that are still carrying that love, that spirit, that fandom for Child's Play, what does it mean for you?
Well, here's the thing. Chucky's been in my life for so long. It's been since 1989 for me, which is like all of his life basically. I have a very difficult time connecting to how awesome and what an awesome, something iconic thing the entire franchise is, and that I'm part of it. It's kind of, I like to compare it to like when you're Madonna's kid, you're not impressed by Madonna. Not that I'm not impressed by the Chucky franchise, but I just can never connect with how big it is. And once in a while, it slips through, and it's so surreal, I can faint. It's awesome.
I bet.
Yeah.
What about you, Alex? When you see fans come out still supporting the movies?
It's awesome. You know, I've been doing conventions since like 2002, back when there was like 5 horror conventions in the world.
Yeah.
So it's always, it continues to be encouraging and inspiring, and I feel very, very grateful for all you guys.
Absolutely. You know, obviously you playing Andy, you dealing with Chucky, getting to that mindset. How did you get into that mindset of, as a child, to tap into pretty much a bad dude, a bad doll, basically? What was that like?
I had a good acting coach that helped. Everybody on set just made it comfortable. I had a really good understanding of what the first film was. I kind of taught myself how to read with that script and memorized it all, every word, everybody else's lines.
Oh, really?
to the point that they changed it a little bit. I was like, that's not how the line goes. And then they did rewrites, and that was devastating.
Oh,
it was just always comfortable for me.
Go ahead.
Understanding that I think once it got through to me that it was our job to make it scary for the camera, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Then it all kind of just made sense.
It made sense, yeah. And what about for you, Elise? You know, being a part of this universe that is now has spawned movies and TV series and everything, and you return to the character. What's that like been for you?
Oh, it's awesome. I'm an actor. That's what I do for work. It's my job.
Sure.
So anytime you get work is good,
Yeah.
but to get work on something so as cool as this and to come back for the TV show is incredible because I've known him for since he was 8 and known Don Vincent. I've known him all for 30 years, and so 40 years?
Almost.
35 years.
Wow.
35 years. Or 6. So yeah, it's like, and it's really family. Don Mancini's a sort of sentimental guy,
Mm-hmm.
and he works better when he feels sort of secure and sees faces around that he's familiar with and has affection for, you know. So it's an incredible honor to be part of this juggernaut of a franchise, and also the people that are involved Don's got great taste in people, so everybody you work with is great too.
Mm-hmm. What was it? Anything challenging for you entering the world? Because you came on Child's Play 2, correct? Yeah. Entering it, what's already been established. How much did you lean on for the first movie to go into the second and then some?
Well, none, because
Yeah.
my character didn't have any exposure to the first movie. You know, she doesn't know
Right.
what's going on, so that's not part of my history in my head. So it's just as an actor, the hardest thing for me is when you're trying to pretend you're afraid when nothing scary is happening, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
And so like in the scene where I find Joanne dead and that Chucky comes up behind me on the bed and grabs me,
Mhm.
it's a Chucky that is tied to, it's called the kicking Chucky, and they tie him to your neck like a backpack, and his legs just kick. And so all the other action of me being thrown around the room is all just me throwing myself around the room like an asshole. You feel like an asshole. You're like, oh. And he said he's seen a lot of behind the scenes footage, and he said every time someone says cut, or when the director says cut, I start cracking up. I'm just laughing because the
Yeah.
whole thing just feels so silly.
Yeah. But you know, getting to that mindset, knowing that you have to portray basically a kicking backpack as being a vicious thing, and then when
That I can't
and
overpower somehow.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, which always blew my mind. Yeah, I never
He's a
understood.
strong little fucker, man.
The power of Damballa. There's all kinds of strength behind it.
I didn't know Damballa gave you physical strength too. I'm like, wow, but you know, it was
Any way to make it make sense.
right, exactly. I was talking to some fans before y'all came up. I started last night. Right? Oh, what do you do tomorrow? I go, well, I go to a Comic-Con MC one, and yeah, I'm going to do a Child's Play panel at the end. They're like, oh, Child's Play. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Who's going to be in it? Oh, you know, some of the original actors, and blah, blah, blah. They wanted me to ask y'all, how difficult was it for y'all to look at several puppets and say, okay, I got to be afraid of that? Like, what was that process like? Like, how to get to that mindset?
For me, I guess with practice,
Yeah.
you know, I spent a lot of time with that doll.
Mm-hmm.
Especially now, like in the television series, spoiler, when Chucky's sitting on top of me with a knife. He felt real, kind of, for a second.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's really just another character. It's really just working with
Yeah.
another character. I mean, the truth is, on set, you work with the inanimate a lot more than people realize.
Mhm.
Unless they're sharing a screen with you, sometimes you're faking it anyway.
Sure.
Yeah, so
that
Right.
concept.
And by the way, I think we have your waters here. Can we
I'm
bring
good
them
at
up?
one, but Alex needs one.
Yeah. Hello? Can we get the engineers back there? Can we bring up those waters, please? Yeah, when they said, okay, it's here, we'll work with that, you know, same situation.
Yeah, and we have Brad's voice on set. Usually it's Brad's voice on playback, and that helps a great deal. That definitely makes it feel like the Chucky that I've known my whole life is in the room.
When y'all found out that it was going to be now turned into a TV series, you know, that was very popular, you know, following the story still. You know, how y'all returned to that world? Was it difficult to return to that world?
No,
No?
it was really fun. We had a fantastic time making it. It was what we've always done, just expanded, more people, getting closer to other great actors that were involved. And, you know, going out to eat together and stuff, and spending the summer together, and having Jennifer Tilly treat you to dinner. It was cool.
Didn't suck.
Really great experience.
Yeah. Like you
But
said.
every acting experience everything's fake, and the challenges can be the challenges are less in what for me at least, I've not had to play anything particularly demanding performance-wise, like, you know, somebody with whatever, a different and a heavy accent or something, that kind of thing, or really, really heavy lifting emotional work. The hardest stuff is dealing with the elements, like when you're shooting something and you're in a bathing suit and it's freezing cold out, you know. And I did body snatches. It was the winter in Alabama, and I had to do I get potted, spoiler alert. And I had to do the scream, and you have to hold your mouth open for like 2 minutes while they add the scream in, this pig's dying or something, and they add in the sound later. But I can't hold my breath that long, and you can't breathe because you can see your breath in the cold. So they were making me like suck on ice cubes and stuff in between in the cold, and so my mouth would be as cold as the outside. So the challenges are sometimes more physical like that, just discomfort. The most uncomfortable thing in the world to do is any kind of love scene, though that's just it's brutal. Yeah.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah. Any behind the scenes stories you can tell us about working with the puppet and dealing with that? How was that like?
It's always fun. You never know what you're gonna get. Kind of the puppeteers have fun with them when they can. Some of the puppeteers do pretty good impressions of Brad. So when we're sitting there waiting to film and we're talking amongst ourselves, we're all mic'd. So Chucky might turn and say something to us and contribute.
There's a picture on my table so in the car scene in Child's Play 2, in between setups, the doll's in the car with me, and they kept having him do this and feel my leg and flirt with me. And I'm like, if you're gonna flirt, I'm gonna get a kiss. And I leaned in to kiss him, and they had him lean in to get the kiss. And so I have that shot on my table. So yeah,
see, another reason why I gotta go to her table. Look at that photograph there.
I recreated it on the set of Cult too. So I have a picture of myself kissing Child's Play 2 Chucky and the chained up head that he had in the apartment.
That's funny.
Or in the cabin.
That's
yeah.
funny, yeah. Well, for you, Christine, you obviously with Child's Play and then your work in 90210 and then ER and everything. You look at your body, your work, and you look back and you're like, wow. Kind of looked at all different genres there. How did you adapt, going from horror to serious drama?
Well, horror is drama.
Yeah. Okay.
Tell
us about that.
Well, it's all the same, really. In horror, you don't play horror. You're still playing a real person, so you have sort of in a ridiculous, fantastic situation in the case of Chucky, but you had to play it grounded, and so it's just what we do.
Right, exactly.
It's not difficult. It's the difficult things when you do ER. It's difficult because there's all this medical jargon that you have to say, and you can't hem and haw. Sometimes if you're going to drop a line, you can pause or and have the character look like they're thinking of what the next thing is, when in fact it's the actor trying to think what the next line is. But you're rifling off medical stuff and it's an emergency, you can't be like, and you can't do that. So that's the hardest stuff, is like jargon that doesn't have any meaning for you personally.
And another question I got for you is, why do you think Child's Play resonated so much with fans? Why do you think just from the first one to the TV show, why do you think just that whole story really impacted fans?
Because Chucky's charming.
Yeah.
And he's funny.
Really?
And Don's a genius. And Don, I think, really was able to roll, like when comedy in horror became sort of the fad, he sort of rolled into that, and then he rolled back out of it again, and it's sort of going with the flow. He has more flexibility than I think, and I think the other thing that's most important to know about the Child's Play franchise, how it's separate from all the other ones, is it's always been Don. It hasn't been rebooted. It's the same story. The same kid from 1988 is still in the show. It's the same, his 30, 40 years of story for this character, and I think Don's vision has never been messed with. It's like No, I love, Rob Zombie, but if Rob Zombie came in and directed a Chucky, it would feel very different than a Don Mancini Chucky, So I think that's an important part of why it's, and Don's so sincere about it. There's no jadedness about it, like, oh, fuck, another Chucky movie. He's as passionate about it now as he ever was, and I think that sincerity, that authentic sincerity comes through, and I think people respond to that.
Yeah, I mean, we also never really do the same thing twice. It's always just it's within the same universe, the consistency is there, but it's just, the tone is always a little different. He explores new things. TV series in particular got to expand to all different kinds of ideas and other great characters.
And how much has Chucky evolved? How many, in this TV show, there's, not only is there many Chuckies, but they're very, very different from each other,
They are.
Which I personally like. I enjoy the many Chuckies.
Yeah. What did y'all feel about the movie, the remake, with Mark Hamill voicing?
We didn't.
Oh, y'all did it. All right.
No,
All right.
we haven't seen it.
Oh, really? Really? Okay. Well, moving on then. Were there any challenges for you as a young actor getting into that mindset of like, I have to portray myself as scaring somebody? I have to scare an audience.
No.
No, I did it.
Yeah, I just kind of did it. I mean,
Yeah.
you're a little more just reactionary, I think, as a child actor than, now where I overanalyze everything. There was actually, in a lot of ways, it was easier at that age, I think.
Christine, when did you know that Child's Play was a hit? When did you realize that?
When she met me.
Oh, okay.
No, I don't think I ever had any experience of it being a hit. Like, it came out, and horror wasn't as big then as it is now, and it wasn't like I got recognized anywhere after it, or that my auditions, the quality of the things I was auditioning for didn't necessarily improve. So I didn't have any personal experience of it. And then we didn't get to do Child's Play 3, we got fucking kicked out. So, so that also sort of, kept me from having any experience of the success of it, because I wasn't around for the rest of the ride until recently, really.
Right, yeah, exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure that hits you when you come to cons and you see,
yeah.
That's where probably when it hits you, right?
Yeah. We've been usurped by, Chucky used to be the most common thing you'd see cosplay at cons, and Chucky shirts, there's so much Chucky merch out there. But Art the Clown is,
Let me tell you.
it's taken over.
Let me tell you, Art the Clown, man. It's like, you can't escape it. There's even, I've been hosting even anime cons. Anime, nothing to do with horror, not even movies. Here comes Art the Clown cosplay. I'm like, how, But,
It's a phenomenon, yeah.
Yeah. I told another panel here, one of the guests here, said like, oh, I heard about this Terrifier movie. Is it that bad? And the whole crowd went, it's that bad. It's that bad.
Or that good, depending on your perspective, yeah.
What makes a good horror movie?
That's pretty subjective. I mean, I prefer like a psychological thriller type, where other people really enjoy slasher stuff. Some people are big fans of campiness, and some people want their horror taken seriously. So that's really, yeah.
What about you, Christine?
It's subjective, so I can't tell anybody in this room what their favorite horror movie should be. And some people don't. Chucky's a sort of unique brand, and like you said, if you're into gore, I'm not a jump scare person. I don't like jump scares at all. I like more psychological, like The Strangers, or I really like this one. It's not really a horror movie, but it's horrific, called Soft and Quiet. But more psychological stuff. My favorite horror movie of all time is The Exorcist. So.
I'm noticing a common theme with other panelists. They always bring up Exorcist as one of their favorite horror movies, and I get it. That definitely, I get that. I had another fan ask me, we go up to ask him this. We've seen movie crossovers. Alien versus Predator, Freddy versus Jason. Who would you like to see Chucky take on?
Not Leprechaun. Not. Megan would be cool, but I think Freddy is the ultimate rival. Yeah, they're comedic. They're both funny. They're both slashers, and I think they'd be good. I think that the instinct to go with something else that's smaller, another doll. I think that's the obvious way to go, but I think I happen to be a fan of the Nightmare on Elm Street franchise.
Yeah, if Robert Englund wanted to come out and make a Freddy and Chucky movie, that sounds fun. But yeah, for the most part, since you asked, I hope we don't ever do a crossover movie.
Really?
It's jumping the shark, really.
Yeah, I'm right there. All right, guys, it's time for y'all to ask some questions. Y'all want to start lining up?
Chucky can't go to space either. No space.
Yeah, not like what was that? Jason X? Was that when he went to space?
And Leprechaun, don't forget about Leprechaun in space.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. All right, we're ready to go. All right, kick us off.
Oh, you may have the idea of space, but those were like really funny, cheesy movies seeing Jason in space, especially the Leprechaun space movie. But anyways, so this is for you, Mr. Andy. So for Child's Play 2, was it Child's Play 2 or Child's Play 1? Okay, here we go. Yeah, it was Child's Play 1. This is the end, friend. How satisfying was that scene for you? We took that Magnum and shot Chucky and said that line. And why did that become a catchphrase? Because that to me, that scene
You're
was like,
combining a couple things. When I had a shotgun and shot Chucky, I said, play with this.
this is the end,
This is
friend.
the
Was
end,
the
friend,
was
right
the
before I
when
set him
he was
on
in
fire.
Stepfather. My bad.
And Andy was very wrong. Like it was nowhere near the end. He said we'd be friends till the end, and it doesn't seem to be ending. So how satisfying was that?
Yeah.
To come back, when I was 10, I was devastated that they recast me. It was a difficult.
We were all devastated.
Thank you. It was a difficult thing to understand. And then a lot of years had passed, and Bride of Chucky came out, and I realized, well, this is definitely not going anywhere. Once Jennifer Tilly was in it, I was like, this is gonna stay around forever. And then to watch Seed of Chucky come out, like during all that time, of course, I wished I was involved. Just to work with these people again, too, that were part of my childhood. And then I kind of reunited a friendship with Don, and then the prospect of working with him again just sounded incredible. And yeah, then he took a shot and had faith in me to do that after I'd been out of the business since I was 12. So it was incredibly gratifying.
If you meant the actual scene where he says, "This is the end, friend," though, I can speak for him and say it was very gratifying, because you always say your favorite part of the franchise, or working on the franchise, is getting to hurt the doll. He likes to hurt the doll.
Yeah. I think a lot of us do here. All right, thank you.
Or just one.
Go ahead, give us another one.
This is my favorite one I love to ask at cons, but let's just say we opened a taco stand together, all of us, and we made a horror-themed taco restaurant. What would you put in a Chucky taco?
You're not the first person to ask a taco question this weekend.
Yeah, strange. You're in San Antonio, yeah. What would you put in
There's
the
another
Chucky
taco that you
taco?
talk about right now, too.
Yeah.
There's another taco going on.
What would I put?
Political taco.
What would I put in a What would I put in a Chucky taco? Cyanide.
There you go. We'll call it the Diablo taco.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. What about you, Christine?
Oh, I don't know. That's a hard one. That's a tough question.
Any things in the vegan world we would put in there?
Yeah. No, he's not vegan, though. It's going to be something bloody. It's going to be something gross.
Like a radish.
A rat, like a dead rat.
Dead rat, yeah. Any other question? You guys, another question you want?
There are a lot of people behind me, so I'll give them a chance. But thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you.
Next question.
Hello. So I was wondering if y'all were gonna make, like, let's just say y'all had a part 3 in mind, and I don't know if you ever thought about it. Like, how would you think it would go? Like, or like, what?
A part 3?
Yeah, like if y'all were to make it, y'all stayed, it didn't change up, and it stayed with y'all. Like, what do you think? Where do you think it would go from there?
Oh. Well, I mean, in my case, part 3, I think if you mean the film, Child's Play 3, they did do something with my character, so that's already answered. That's what they did. As far as if you're asking like what
But
I,
if
if you're asking what I do things
Yeah.
differently than Tom.
No, he's asking if you hadn't aged you up.
Yeah, like
And you could have still played the character. You could have. What do you think would have
like,
happened?
if it stuck with both of y'all, and
Right.
like it is, yeah.
I mean, it probably would. We could have done a lot with, where Andy and Kyle went from there. I mean, part 2 ended with where do we go from here? I have no idea. so exploring how they would, because they were both kind of abandoned, so wherever their life went must have been interesting. And then put Chucky in the mix, it would have been fun.
But he does more thinking about what hypotheticals or things he can pitch to Don than I do. I just sort of trust Don, and I know that he's going to come up with something better than I ever could. So I don't spend any time imagining where Kyle was in the intervening years or anything like that. It's a waste of energy because I have no control over it. I can't make it happen. So,
I understand. Is there any scenes that got cut that you're like, oh, why'd y'all cut that?
I don't think much got cut from
No, it's stuff that got cut from between writing the script and going to set. Some things didn't make it to there. Nothing really that we filmed that was a big deal that we lost. But there were a couple concepts and ideas that would have been really fun.
Oh, what are those concepts and ideas?
Yeah, I can't tell you those things.
Darn.
Because when Don has an idea that doesn't get used, he
might
says
use
it later, yeah.
Oh, okay. I tried, everybody. I tried.
Thank you.
All right, what's up? Come on up.
How's it going? My name is Ruben. It's an honor to meet you guys. Huge fan. Glad you guys are out here.
Thank you.
So I'm a huge fan of Freddy Krueger as well. I got to meet Robert Englund a few years back, so you kind of answered my first question there. But my question for you guys is, I love the whole team up in part 2 that we get. I think that's why I love Child's Play 2 so much. The first one is of course very iconic, but the second one we get a team up. And a common trope in the horror franchise is usually it's a final girl or just a final guy, just one person. But I love how it's a team. So if Andy and Kyle could go up against any other horror icon, whether it's Freddy or Jason or Michael, who do you think you guys could face off against?
Art.
Whoever they need us.
Art.
Yes, urgently. Please, that
Yeah.
sounds great.
I would love to be killed by Art. I would very much like to be killed by Art. And I would very much like to be killed by Kane Hodder in something.
I got to meet him too last year. He's great.
He's a sweetheart, yeah, I love Kane.
One more question. What would you say is both of your favorite moments on set from either 1 or 2?
From 1 or 2?
Yeah, because you guys seem to be, you guys still talk to this day, so I mean, you guys must be very close. You have a favorite moment?
All the stuff that we did in that warehouse in the factory
Yeah.
which was a lot of time filming. Just felt very immersed in the Chucky universe every day we were on set.
Yeah.
It was colorful. There was a lot to do, and it was fun.
Awesome. What about you?
Well, he was an adorable little kid, and he's fun to, and Don is really good at, because he's young, and there's kids on the set, it's great to have, when you have a crew and a director that, where the tone on set is meant to be keeping the kid feel safe. And those are fun sets to be on, because people aren't raising their voices, and they're not,
Right.
and so, and sets can be tense, and John LaFia, who directed that second one, was too nice for the business, I think, ultimately, and just a real sweetheart. So to be on a set where you feel like you can have fun and no one's getting mad is rare, and it's great.
Thank you guys. Enjoy your
All
time.
right, good question.
Thank you.
All right, you're up next.
Hi.
Hi, I just wanted to know what's your favorite Chucky face?
My favorite Chucky face of all the different. Part 1, the Jack Nicholson look was always a popular one. I like Pizza Face from the TV series, whose half of his face is destroyed. Anytime that he looks fucked up, especially at Andy's hands, it's usually fun. The one in Cult of Chucky, that was Andy's little plaything. I liked his face a lot too.
I'm the Jack Nicholson one. I like the receding hairline in the Jack Nicholson in the first Chucky's my favorite one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my favorite too.
All right, that's a fun question there. All right, who's next?
So I know that Jennifer has the Tiffany doll. She actually has her own house for Tiffany. And so I was wondering, did you guys get to keep anything from the movie, or is there anything that you wish you got to take home from any of the movies? Or
Some trauma. I have a Cult of Chucky good guy doll. So it took all the way till Cult to get my own.
Yeah, they don't give those things away. I had a friend who had been a horror collector in the 60s, like the old Aurora model kits and stuff. And so I was able to get him one or two of those empty boxes from the factory. So those walls of boxes that you see, they were empty. And I didn't get one for myself. I regret not doing that because they're super valuable. I just didn't anticipate being as nostalgic about it as I have become, and I am because of this, because of you guys, because it's still a real thing in my life, and so most of my jobs didn't have this sort of longevity as far as me being immersed in it still. So yeah, you don't get to take much home from set. It's sort of a misconception that you get to take things.
They asked all of us to do a little promo thing, and us veterans were like, we didn't take shit. I don't know, didn't take anything. But I loved Allie's answer, who plays Lexi. They asked her what she took home, and she said, Lexi's bottle of drugs and a piece of Andy's skin.
Whoa. Well, it is a horror con.
Thanks, guys.
Best thing I ever took home from set was Jason Priestley.
There you go.
Which movie or show was your favorite to film?
The TV series was really the most fulfilling, fun, extended, long experience.
We shot it in Toronto, so they had us all in a city we don't live in. So that creates sort of a family atmosphere. When you're not working, you're hanging out with people more than you would if you were in your own home city. And getting, we wouldn't be having dinner with Jennifer once a week in our real life, but you got to do it there, and it's great. Toronto's pretty too, so.
They were all fun in different ways. Even Cult to Chucky, which was freezing. It's in the middle of the winter.
40 below freezing.
Yeah.
Literally, and that's where 40 below meets both of the measuring
Yeah.
scales meet at 40 below.
Oh, wow.
Frostbite in 5 minutes.
Wow.
It was wild.
That sounds crazy. All right. Okay, next.
Which season of the TV show is your favorite?
Mine is season 2.
I think I liked 3. I like 3.
3 was funny.
I like Chucky getting old. I like I like 3, I think, and the cliffhanger we're left with is brutal. But having Brad come on camera and having John Waters show up, it's just a really fun season.
Yeah.
So how about you?
Probably the first one, because if it wasn't for seeing the trailer for the first one on TV, I don't know if I ever would have gotten into the franchise. That was what kind of prompted me to watch the movies.
That's great.
And I just fell in love with the franchise. It's my favorite horror franchise now.
Yay!
Thank you.
All right.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Good stuff. All right. Thank you for the questions, everybody. Appreciate that. Before I let y'all go, I got a couple more questions for you. What did you like about playing Kyle? What did you like about her character?
I played the offbeat, misunderstood, tough chick with a heart of gold most of my early career. There's a great deal of overlap as far as attitude. The wardrobe was all mine. All that clothing was mine, except for the clothing that I wear in the factory. Which is so weird because all the clothing Kyle wore was so badass because it was mine. I auditioned in that hat, the leather hat. And they put her in that weird, old lady outfit for the whole second half of the movie. That stupid sweater and the stretchy pants. It was bad.
Yeah, it's iconic now.
It's bad.
One day somebody's gonna dress up in cosplay as that.
Oh, they have.
They have.
Yeah, of course they have.
Oh wow, that's
We're not new.
No, wow.
But they tend to do the jeans and the black turtleneck with the big chain and the hat. That's the one they do more than the
That's the fun.
the factory stuff.
Yeah.
But I got these roles because there's so much of myself in them. I'm kind of an actor that makes it as much me as I possibly can.
Mm-hmm.
And then they give me cool shit to do. So yeah.
Yeah, fun times, right? What do you like about playing Andy and seeing him continue on with the series like we're in the TV show?
I like my friendship with Chucky at some level. I can't let it go. I like our family of, it's kind of all I know. It's my earliest memories are kind of making the first film. So it's been in my life, my entire life, and those that I shared that bond with. That's the part that I like the most.
Yeah, I bet that's so much fun. All right. Well, before I let them go, everybody, just a quick reminder: their tables are still open, right? When we're done here.
We are.
Yeah.
If you have a question, come over there.
Down. But hang on, I'd like to do this to thank you guys for coming here to the panels here. Guess what I got here? What's that? Chucky. It's a Chucky there. All right, we do a little trivia to hear you're really paying attention during the show here. All right, so.
No, it's your question.
All right, here we go. Okay, let's see. What were their favorite seasons of the Chucky TV series? Go ahead. All right, you get it.
All right.
That was.
She
got it.
Trivia night's over, guys. Thanks for coming. Tip your bartender.
All right, everybody.
Thank you guys for coming out.
Hey, everybody, give it up for the cast of Child's Play.
That was such a fun panel and a fun first day at Big Texas Terror. But stay tuned for my next video. I will have the Screamcast panel and a lot more vendors. So stay tuned for that next video and have a great rest of your day.